that?
It's easy to live in your own reality when the world's too afraid to challenge your beliefs. Some folks even turn their back on friends or family who disagree on political issues. Let's dive right in.
So here's a problem that I have dealing with my MAGA sons. They get very, very offended if I say that I think that they are ignorant to some things because of their support for this rapist and felon. But here's the thing. I have two choices when I try to understand why they would support an abhorrent human that goes against every value I try to instill in them. Here's my two choices. I can believe that you are ignorant, or I can believe that you are evil. Ignorant is the kinder choice.
It's 2:30 in the morning, and I'm up just thinking how much I hate Trump and his supporters. I hate y'all, so you know. And I don't care if you like me or not. I can't stand you motherfuckers, man. Literally inside of me is rotten with the hate that I have for y'all. And I never hated nobody in my life. I always respected people. But y'all, I hate y'all. And I'm up thinking about how much I hate y'all. Just so you know, when you see my post, you know it ain't good for y'all. Cause I really do hate y'all. Just so you know. So, sleep good, cause I'm a hater.
I'm making plans. I've got 2 plans on how I can survive an authoritarian hellscape. I'm focusing on those plans, and I'm kind of getting excited because I'm good with the plan, you know? And I'm implementing my plan. And it's big and it's scary, but, you know, what's the alternative? There's not one, no. Okay, so do your thing, make a plan, start working on your plan, and build your bubble every day. Keep the losers and the haters out of your bubble, because it's your bubble. You get to decide what goes on in your bubble. You can be delusional in your bubble. You can be happy in your bubble. You can be proactive in your bubble. Do whatever you want in your bubble. It is your bubble. It is time to cut the dead weight out of our lives, guys.
People who have their panties in a fucking twist about trans people are weirdos. Like, you are so weird. You have nothing better to do with your life. I will never understand women who will go out in public, get on this app, and openly talk shit and declare themselves an unsafe space for trans people and trans women specifically. I can't fathom what value women specifically get out of this, knowing that we are already vulnerable in society and trans people are extra vulnerable in this society. So to get on and say, I don't want to use terms like chest feeding or cis woman or gender neutral bathrooms, why the fuck do you care? And their argument is usually, oh, well, it takes away the specialness of being a woman. You do know that cis women can't get pregnant and some cis women can't get periods, right? So now are all they of a sudden excluded out of the group of women as well? Also pisses me off that most of these people, women specifically, have a cross around their neck. If you're being guided by a man, darling, you're misled. Just stop talking.
Hey guys, so apparently when you get bottom surgery and have your eggplant turned into a cookie, you have to be kind of careful when you take baths, because apparently the water can get like sucked up inside of you. And then if you made plans later that day to go to the grocery store with your friends and you're wearing like a skirt or like a dress or something, the water can just like randomly come out of you and then make a loud splashing sound on the grocery store tile floor. And then you're just standing over a puddle of your old bath water that's just been sitting inside of you, and people around you think that you're in labor and that your water just broke, and so you have to like pretend that you're in labor, and your friends escort you out of the store while you're like moaning in pain because you don't want everyone to know that that you just squirt old bathwater all over the grocery store. I'm not saying that happened to me. I'm just saying it could happen to someone.
There are non-binary people, there are trans men who lactate, there are those who go by he, him, different pronouns. It's just inclusive to everybody. It is not hurting cis women to say chest feeding, but it does hurt those who go by other pronouns to continue to say breastfeeding, especially if they have body dysmorphia.
Hey, Trans Dad here. So it's the last day of Trans Awareness Week, and I thought I'd end the week with a little thought experiment for you all to do. So close your eyes. And when I say the word trans, what pops into your head? What's the image that pops into your head? Now open your eyes and think about whether or not that image actually applies to any of the trans people that you know, either in person or that you've seen online. My guess is that it's an image that doesn't necessarily fit any real people. It's probably an amalgamation of what you've been told about who trans people are. I'd be curious to know how many of you cis folks close your eyes and picture a trans man. My guess about that is that it's probably next to zero. Mainstream media forgets that trans men exist. Culture forgets that trans men exist. We're just not talked about. And yet we exist in largely the equivalent numbers as trans women do. I have a lot of
I had a neighbor confront me for using the women's restroom. I lived here for 4.5 years. Everyone should know that I'm a trans woman. I've always been known as Kaylee. I've always used she, her pronoun. I've been having some stomach issues because of Trulicity, and I'd use the bathroom real quick, and they're single-use bathrooms, and it's the only place that I feel safe using the women's bathroom. Well, I got done and got out, and this neighbor was talking to another neighbor and started pointing out the sign. I knew exactly what she was talking about because there's a big old woman sign. And I'm like, is there a problem? She's like, yeah, you're using the woman's restroom. You're a man. And I said, I'm a trans woman. She's like, no, you're a man. And she kept saying that over and over. And then she kept saying, you're not a she, you're a he. You shouldn't be using it. You were born a man. And just over and over. And honestly, I just lost it. And just started screaming and swearing. I just couldn't handle it. This is my home. This is my safe place. I should be able to use the restroom. The apartment manager knows I'm trans. Everyone knows my name is Kaylee. And then my group of friends, I thought my friends were all starting to yell at me saying I escalated and because she had 2 kids. I didn't even see the kids. They were there and I just lost it. Fight, flight, or freeze, and I fought. You don't know what it's like to be a trans person. And then my one friend started yelling at me, and none of them stood up for them. They blamed me that I was the one that was at fault. When none of them stood up to me when this person kept calling me he, she, he, man, like triggering and awful. Like, I deal with enough on here. Like, my apartment should be a safe place. There's nothing safe for a trans person. There is nothing safe for a trans person. This is the life. And it fucking sucks. And even when you have your friends who don't have your back. And then my one friend, Annette, just started screaming at me. And I'm like, start screaming back at her. I'm done. These are fair weather friends. These are not the friends that I need, want, and deserve. And if I can't find it here, I will find it elsewhere. So, I don't know. I'm so fucking triggered and feeling so awful. Like, I just want to die. It fucking sucks. Here's what the men's and women's groups. So they're single-use bathrooms. So you can see there's the men's. Here's the women's.
Well, I filed a resolution this week that would ban biological men from women's private spaces. So that would be the bathroom, changing rooms, locker rooms up here on Capitol Hill. But I'm not going to stop there. I'm also filing a bill that we're giving you exclusive a copy to and copy with, that would ban biological men from women's restrooms and women's private spaces and every federal property across the entire country. So I'm going to do everything I can to protect women and girls here on the Hill, but also all across the nation. I mean, this question needs to be answered. Do women have rights or not? Are we going to allow these men to bully us into submission? And I say, no, no more. I'm done with this. I mean, I was built for tough. There's no amount of bullying and threats on my life that they've made this week that's going to stop me from this. And I was the first woman to graduate from the Citadel, the Military College of South Carolina. I was built for tough, and I am not going to back down. And I'm urging my colleagues to join me in this fight. This is common sense. This isn't controversial.